Welcome to a new edition of Hertfordshire Web Design's podcast. Today I'll be focusing on the subject of our customers and customers that have actually left. And at the end of this, you'll probably get an idea of the reasons why they do. And it's kind of obvious, really. And I just want to make it a little bit more clearer. There are many reasons why they would, and it's more to do with expansion, growth, and development of the business that they are actually growing, and is because we've helped them grow. And in previous podcasts, I've actually mentioned that we've been capable of producing this small homegrown business, SMEs and startups, as we like to focus on, into something a little bit more industrious. So they may want to faction off their projects or their businesses into something a little bit bigger, and they want to departmentalize internally or externally, depending on what facets they want to grow. And if it becomes difficult for them to manage it with us, then we probably would recommend that they actually move on to something a little bit more industrious, agency-based, internal. But starting straight off the bat, I just want to say a Happy New Year to anyone who's actually listening. Just to wish you all a Happy New Year. Today is the 2nd of January 2020. It seems that the year sped on quite fast, but so top of the hour, and I'm going to pretty much start off with the main topic. So why do our customers move away? And the easiest example is to do with growth. Hertfordshire Web Design focuses on specifically small businesses and SMEs, startups and so on. And as I've found in the past, that there are a sliding scale to the good and the bad, that good and bad examples really that define why they would want to sort of jump ship, move on, or expand out away from Hertfordshire Web Design. And it's no complex feat, it's just more how we handle it, and that's part of our service really. So the good. Let's see. Straight off the bat, I'd say that the customers that have actually moved away from us have probably found and have found other agencies. Say, let's focus on SEO as part of the service, or web design, or even the development work or the infrastructure that they actually are using. That because we provide not just hosting, SEO, and design, those three facets may become departmentalized for them internally within their own companies. So examples that I'd like to use is say Cycling Industry News as a company. I've worked for them and with them for quite some time, and what would happen is at some point they would grow to such a massive rate, such a strong social media following, such a strong SEO development work, such a strong bandwidth that we can no longer host it on the small shared environment that we've actually got. Even though the actual service that we provide is elite, it's very difficult for us to actually put them all in one SME. So they moved on to being a larger company. It's not to say that at some point, we will expand out to becoming a bigger company. I've got high hopes for our company. It's the idea of if it is going to be a very high traffic business, then of course they would need to upgrade to a more proactive, very fast service that they will need to provide. So for us to actually just handle the SEO specifically for them, as well as a dedicated server, as well as the design and development and email campaigns that they would probably require, means that it will be the only company that we will be focusing on. And again, that's part of our growth methodology, is that we tend to focus on startups and SMEs for now. So as it grows, Hertfordshire Web Design will start to cater for larger companies, but as it stands at the moment, the reason why they would move on is because they want to focus on their SEO and have an agency that focuses directly on their SEO. So they want to focus on their social media. Yeah, so just their social media on their own. So an entire agency would focus on their SEO. So design and development would be the server, would be a standalone server that will require the company to look after that server and nothing else. So downtime, yes, we do deal with that. We do deal with backing up their websites, and we do deal with making sure that your website is 100% secure, of course. But it's more to do with the fact that because of high traffic and incredible amount of requirements within a server, a dedicated server will be required. And that is something that we do cater for. But again, it does make SMEs question just exactly how big they actually are. Startups are perfectly fine because that's the kind of frontier town environment that we deal with in helping them to grow into a more illustrious, well-known brand as an SME. But moving on to something that's a little bit more high traffic, it becomes an industry. It becomes international companies tend to approach us, and it becomes very clear to us that to a certain extent it's very difficult for us to maintain it, because we would need to be built into the company's ethos and methodology, and it doesn't bode well for the future, because it means that we are the only company that they will be the only company we deal with. So the idea of the company actually growing is so important for us, and it's nice because what happens in this instance is that we, in all instances actually, whether good or bad, that they move on, is we obviously, and have always said, we give them the keys to the kingdom. It's the content, the information, everything has been passed on to, if they want to keep the server system that we've created for them, fine, but they may want to just dedicate their SEO to another company. So everything, all the code, all the development work and so on will be happily transferred over to another company. But moving quickly on to the next bit, which is the idea of moving away because of basically they feel slighted in some way, or dissatisfied with the service that we've provided. Again, it's exactly the same sort of principle, and it could be any number of reasons, and in the past it's been to do with security issues, meaning that the security is so tight with the way that we run our servers that we give them admin access but not to the servers, and some have insisted on having server access, which is definitely a no, because it means that they've got access to not just a shared server, which most companies will not give you. FTP is a different matter, but it's more to do with the server itself as a whole, and that is, again, infringing on GDPR and the security of other websites. So on that note, I just want to say that any company that actually comes to us as an SME or a startup, is we are there to help you grow, and we are there to pass on that information to you as and when you require it. And again, it's always going to be part of the service to actually even come back to us. And if you do choose to come back to us, it's always going to be a welcome sight, because it means that you have ventured out, you have actually made the effort to find a company that works. But again, it may not be to your taste, because we do provide a very sort of close-knit service to the customer. But my main concern is just making sure that everybody's happy with the way that things are run, with the system itself, and the way that we work as an operation is we work quite closely with you, and deservedly so. And in conclusion, it's the idea of coming back to us is never going to be a problem. I think it's always going to be that even if you decide to move away, it's always done with a pinch of salt, and with a hope that you proceed in the right way. And we do give you some sort of criteria of exactly what's available, and we do babysit that process very well. We hope you all the best, and hopefully you'll come to us to see exactly what we can do. But Hertfordshire Web Design is there as a service for startups and SMEs. So if you have an idea, you know how to get in contact with us, please do. And for this video, please like, share, subscribe, and you will get almost as many updates as you require, but as many updates as we can create. But just to wish you a happy new year, and hope to speak to you soon.